this statement up here. Okay, and I need it to be, I want you to put at least 100 words for each example. You can do more if you want, or you can do less. And I'm going to put word requirements in the beginning to make sure that you are writing enough. I found if I don't put word requirements, then you guys don't write enough. But you know, after we work for a little while, you may understand kind of what I'm looking for, so I will stop putting word requirements. Okay, another key example, and it's relative to the first one. The function of written language was coded in distinct graphic forms. Okay, and there were specific examples of the types of communication in this period that were categorized. They talk about informal communication, conventional communication, commemorative writing, and performative discourse. So I want you to find one example of each of these types of communication in the book, and again the first one is also examples that are from the book, and explain why you categorized them as informal communication. You can use the same examples that you had in the previous question. You just need to explain to me why you categorize them that way. The book also discusses some implications that came about due to the distinction between spoken and written language. There's some specific distinction and some conversation in various parts of the book that talk about these implications. Just to give you a hint, one of them has to do with class. Okay. The next thing that you're going to be doing is I want you to explain the importance of the design of letters. And there are two key distinctions. Okay, next, what are the implications of all of the things that you've just looked at and all the things that we read in the chapter? What are the implications for graphics today? One of the statements in the book says that basic design decisions about the way something looks as a function of what it communicates were everywhere apparent in the classic world. So it's saying this is relevant to what we're doing now. There are implications from what was going on back in the classical period to today. So I want you to go ahead and I want you to find 5 examples of different fonts that are used today and describe what they communicate. So again, it relates to what was started in the classical period in that there are cultural implications to what we see. The example that I give you, the first example, is a wedding script. Okay. Wedding scripts are known to be elegant script fonts. This invitation can imply a formal or an informal wedding. So I went out and I found 2 different types of fonts. The first font is for a formal wedding example, and it communicates elegance through formal lines and exaggerated loops in the capital letters. And the script of the font is also considered to be more formal. The informal font that I found is informal in nature but still appropriate for a wedding. It has some degree of formality with the curves that you still see rather than it just being just a straight font, and it looks to be kind of a mixture between different types of font, but it will still work well for a wedding, and it implies an informal nature. So there's all kinds of different types of fonts out there. For example, I saw when I was looking at fonts, there's a font that looks like Harry Potter font. There's fonts that are Western fonts. Those types of things. Why are they Western fonts? Why do we perceive them as that? What in society, or what have you found is a reason as to why it seems to be a Western font? Okay, and I'm just asking for 1 or 2 sentences as a minimum, just to describe to me what you think this font implies and perhaps what your reasoning is behind it. Okay, so that is the second part of your assignment for this week. The third part of your assignment is I found a great website on design history. And this website, this link will be on the course outline page. It's also on the OneNote page. I have also put it in our Delicious website if you want to take a look at that. But what we're focusing on here is we're focusing on symbols. And the reason that I think it's relevant to what we were talking about with the classic literacy period is that it is another representation of how meaning can convey cultural, or meaning can be conveyed culturally or cross-culturally through visual forms. Okay? And that's done not just through letters and fonts and writing, but it's also through symbols. So there is a page on this website that discusses specifically symbols and the different types of symbols. I want you to read the information on that page and then go out and find your own examples of the following types of symbols. And then explain why your symbol can be categorized in the manner and what that symbol means. And once you look at it, you'll understand. The first one I want you to take a look at is a pictogram, a rebus, an ideogram, a trademark, logotype, monogram, and a coat of arms. Okay? So go ahead and find your own examples out on the web. And then I want you to find and explain one example of a cultural mismatch of symbols or a rebranding or anti-branding. And then again explain in 1 or 2 sentences why you chose this symbol. So that's the basic information that you're going to need for class this week. And again, make sure that you read through the chapter, that you read all of the figures and all the examples, and you're looking at everything in the book. In the course outline, I have put the due date for the assignment. I have put the different parts. There is a drop box in the D2L on the D2L site and it's week 3. Week 3, there is a PDF attachment of the requirements on week 3 also. And you can get the content, the OneNote or the PDF file from this lecture on the content page under week 3 files. Okay, so you have 1 week to complete this assignment. I also will be posting I'll be posting a survey just to kind of see how things are going. I was going to post it this weekend, but I decided you guys were probably pretty busy with what you were working on, so I will post it sometime this week. It's going to be an anonymous survey. I want to see how things are going with everybody and just allow you to give me some feedback on class. These surveys are actually very important. They're very important to me because I take this as an opportunity for you to communicate with me any problems you're having with this class, any information that you would like to discuss with me. I do read through all the surveys, and any problems or any issues that are mentioned, I try and either talk about or try to overcome in some manner. So these surveys are important. All right. Any questions, please contact me via Skype if you want. I'm usually online anytime. You can also email me. I would actually prefer now that you use the Dakota State email just because Desire to Learn still seems to be a little bit slow. And otherwise, good luck, and we'll be talking to you again this week.